What was normal 20 to 30 years ago, but is considered a luxury now? Items not requiring a subscription each month. Good quality fabric and clothing. I have clothes from the 90s, and 80s from my mother, that still hold up today. These days, I'm lucky if my shirt isn't saggy and misshapen within a year. Getting things repaired instead of buying new. I have a hedge trimmer from the 50s. It broke a few weeks ago, so I pulled out some screws and fixed its simple mechanical motor. Works fine again. Edit, chill guys, it's an old corded electric, no circuit board. If it doesn't have Bluetooth, how do you control it? I work making consumer appliances and it's ridiculous how much shit we put Wi-Fi and Bluetooth in. During COVID we were nearly at a dead stop. Because of a chip shortage, to put Bluetooth in a washing machine. Look at the Ellume COVID test. YTF does a disposable single-use COVID test need a battery and Bluetooth? Incredibly wasteful. I had to pull out my other computer with Reddit logged in and find this comment after it had been buried just so I could find a kindred spirit to rage about these things with. Whoever designed them deserves to be beaten with a rubber hose. Forcing the person trying to take the test to watch a 15-minute long unskippable video that is required to run the test program that aborts the program if you get a call. Duck whoever did that. I hope they die from COVID painfully and rot in hell. Dude. I'm diabetic. I have a thing that controls giving me insulin and uses Bluetooth. They used like a phone body for it. It's constantly telling me I can connect to Wi-Fi, it doesn't use Wi-Fi to operate, and the other day told me I can't take a screenshot or some other nonsense. I get that they repurposed a cheap phone for non-phone use, and don't get me wrong, I love the system I'm on, but maybe just remove the software you don't need so I don't get dumb messages? Privacy. Farmers markets. You used to be able to go down and get fruit and vegetables cheaper than the grocery store. Now it seems like they charge 3x more than stores do. I can remember growing up in Wisconsin, and you'd see a random stand in front of a farm, and you'd get corn like $10 1.00, and it would be the most amazing corn you'd ever taste. Out in Amish country and PA you still can find quite a few. Even some unattended stand that work on honesty. But still there has definitely been a noticeable decline from when I was a kid. Unattended fruit and veg stands with an honesty jar are great. I saw one with a sign that said fresh every morning and the cash box said all proceeds go to spoil the grandkids. Not being expected to be reachable 247. Why pay for a phone if you're not going to use it? I pay for the mobile computer the phone is attached to. The phone is just one of thousands of functions. I recently decided to keep my phone on silent at all times. Not vibrate, silent. I check it when I want and not when it goes off. It's made my daily life much better. New furniture made out of real wood. Nothing angers me more than paying luxury prices for fiberboard framed garbage. It's legit why I started woodworking. Even my shitty projects that I'm unhappy with are infinitely better than the junk in stores. I'm with you. My kids went through 4 beds in 8 years in the pressboard crap. I built a scabby one out of lumber for half the price and they love it. Let them paint it and all and they couldn't be happier. Does it look classically better than the store-bought ones? No. Do the kids like it more? Hell yeah. I've got a kid's bookshelf my grandfather built for my mom and her sisters in the 1940s. Still solid as a rock, though it might be painted with lead. As long as they're not eating paint chips, it'll be fine. If you want to have it repainted, do not remove the existing paint yourself unless you test it and Therese no lead. Let a professional strip it. Source: me. A person who worked for a company that did many types of environmental remediation. Single income families buying a home. Buying a home in general. Being left the duck alone. Buying something and just owning it. Playing a video game without an internet connection. Not having to provide your email address for every single fucking thing you do. Yeah, try getting a quick haircut. What's your phone number? Me: no, I just want my haircut, but we need it for our tracking. How about an email address? Me: no, I just want a haircut. And suddenly people are looking at you like you're a dick. I have even tried the whole no thanks, I just want a haircut, it doesn't matter, they are still going to continue asking. I now just make up random shit. Best part is I go to the same place and they know my face and give me the squinty eyes. Pro tip: 867, 5309 with any area code will work for just about any service, sign up, loyalty program, whatever, and it's probably already been set up. This pro tip is going to die in a generation. I've been using this tip for years, whenever I travel and buy groceries. Cashier, do you have a rewards card? Let's find out. What's the local area code here? Cashier. If you live near a Kroger or any of their cleverly disguised sub-brands, the data will carry over. From my experience, Kroger doesn't give a shit. They'll just swipe theirs or swipe a new one and throw in the bag without giving them any info. Being able to afford having only one person working in a relationship. Yeah, my dad, as a college dropout restaurant manager, made 6 figures, had 2 houses and 2 new cars in the 1980s. Mom just raised us kids. 35 years later, my wife and I have 2 bachelors and a master's between us, 3 jobs, and can just barely afford a house that's 50% the size of one of my parents' houses from the 80s. We make less combined than our dads did alone with no degrees. This is painful. I'm sorry. Calling a company and getting a person on the other end of the phone. Edit, thanks for the awards, kind people. I really didn't expect this to blow up like this. Now literally having to fight the IVR, and God help you because they've now enabled the robot lady to just straight hang up on your ass. You've made too many invalid selections. This call will now be disconnected, goodbye. What? Nothing makes my blood boil more when an IVR tries to make you think it's a real person, because it always makes the experience more terrible. I hate calling it support because the IVR does this fake typing noise like a real human is looking shit up after I say a response. Like, just duck right off with that bullshit. They had either the worst product managers or the most insane focus group ever. Yay, it would make me happier if you humanize this voice recording so it takes me 10x longer to talk to a person. Also, it's 2023, I know I can do shit online, I'm only calling because I need to talk to an actual person here. People keep telling us they want to speak directly to a person. We hear you, and we care about your happiness. That's why we're making our robots sound more human-like. Please note that you can also find the answer to many questions you never asked online, including finding our hours of operation, double-checking the spelling of our name, seeing the colors in our brand palette. 3 minutes of bullshit later. If you still want to talk to a person, press 1. And please listen closely to the following options, as they've recently been changed. I'm a medical assistant and regularly make phone calls to other clinics and hospitals. The other line I hear almost all the times is due to unprecedented call volume. Please expect longer wait times. Like, you're not getting more calls than you were before. You just have 18 of the staff answering calls as you had before. The ones that make my blood boil are the ones that let you sit on hold for several minutes only to eventually tell you to leave a voicemail. Bullshitting your homies on the playground. Had this revelation last week when talking to my nephew. His friend told some blatant lie, I guess, 9-year-old, and everyone pulled out their brand new iPhones to Google his lying ass. Remember when someone would say something and you just believed them? Even if you didn't, you were in for an hour-long argument on how it wasn't possible for Marilyn Manson to remove his ribs to suck his own dick. It is a luxury because it takes either credit or popularity to just be believed these days. Shit, I doubted half my professors just because they were old. A single-family detached house. More like owning a house in general, or even land. Owning the software you purchased. I remember as a kid, where I lived, they would allow people to just visit an area of the airport from where they could see the runway and flights take off. They didn't have to pay anything for it. People would spend hours just looking at flights take off and land. Edit. To everyone saying this is still doable in many parts of the world, that's great. I haven't been to those parts of the world yet, and where I come from one would still need to pay a certain amount to get in and watch from a glass cabin or so. Back in the day, there would just be a gate on the airport ground, a small barricade where you could just stand for hours and nobody would bother.